I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book.
You guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light, and he happened to be hanging out the window.
Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
After the release of the new Diddy documentary, The Reckoning, previously unseen material began circulating online, reigniting questions about Diddy's possible ties to Tupac Shakur's death. As the information spread, law enforcement records reportedly started referencing Diddy by name, prompting supporters to argue that he viewed Tupac as a threat, believing Pac stood in the way of his ambition to dominate the rap industry.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and, in his mind, earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
The revelations didn't stop there. They reportedly sparked a reaction from 50 Cent himself. According to what's been revealed, 50 Cent insists the story is far from over. He claims that more unreleased material involving Diddy, which never made it into the Netflix documentary, is set to surface on YouTube. This upcoming content allegedly explores Diddy's personal history involving one of Tupac's former partners. In 2006, Diddy had a daughter, Chance Combs, with Sarah Chapman, who had previously been romantically linked to Tupac in the mid-1990s. Investigators reportedly took a closer look at that connection and uncovered unsettling details. On November 18, 1995, Tupac was photographed alongside Sarah Chapman, a woman Diddy had openly described as the one and his ideal partner. Sources claim Diddy was deeply upset by her relationship with Tupac, and that this tension allegedly led to an early attempt to target Tupac, an incident that was ultimately buried and never fully pursued by law enforcement.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
When the first attempt reportedly failed, another followed. Testimony connected to the Diddy trial later brought forward claims from a former lapped officer alleging that Diddy had ordered a hit on Tupac for a $1 million payout. According to the narrative presented, Suge Knight responded by arranging retaliation against Biggie. Investigators allege Diddy then turned to Keith D to carry out the plan against Tupac. For more than 2 decades, Keith D remained free, until authorities finally arrested him. During a subsequent interrogation, he allegedly confessed, unaware that the session was being recorded, and named Diddy as a central figure behind the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
During the Diddy trial, his alleged involvement came under renewed scrutiny. Media outlets reported that Diddy was facing fresh questions about his possible connection to Tupac Shakur's death after his name appeared 77 times in a recent legal filing. Keith D, who prosecutors have identified as the alleged hitman, claimed that the entire plan was carried out at Diddy's direction, stating it was easier than expected. Adding another layer to the narrative, the author of a well-known Tupac biography suggested that Tupac's tough public image was largely performative, arguing that he was playing a role and may not have been as capable of defending himself as many believed.
It was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah.
The claims reportedly caught the attention of law enforcement, who acknowledged making notes related to 50 Cent's Diddy-focused documentary. According to reports, the project introduced previously undisclosed information alleging that Diddy paid $1 million in connection with Tupac's death. Sources suggested that charges against Diddy were being anticipated, an outcome 50 Cent has long pushed for. He has openly stated his desire to expose Diddy, stemming from past disputes and earlier reports in which 50 Cent claimed his dislike for Diddy was rooted in the belief that Diddy was involved in ordering the hit on Tupac.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
A deeper review of police records suggests that Diddy may not have been acting alone. Recent reports indicate that the renewed investigation into Tupac Shakur's killing has uncovered additional names and fresh evidence pointing to a wider network of involvement. One name resurfacing is Suge Knight. Years ago, Eminem publicly claimed that Suge Knight was responsible for the deaths of two of hip-hop's most iconic figures, stating that he held Knight accountable for the loss of both Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace. Eminem went as far as saying that if Biggie were alive, he could confirm it himself, adding that anyone connected to death row was ultimately put at risk. Newly revealed documents show that Detective Russell Poole suspected Suge Knight had orchestrated Tupac's killing before the rapper could leave the label. According to those records, investigators believe Knight deliberately shifted blame onto a rival gang to mislead authorities. One individual reportedly caught in that crossfire was Snoop Dogg, who became a person of interest after records showed he was originally expected to be in the car with Tupac on the night of the shooting, placing him unfairly in the spotlight during the investigation.
I always say the wrong thing. Last time you met me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that. I've been talking to a therapist to try to help me with I said crazy maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
Federal investigators reportedly viewed Snoop Dogg with skepticism, particularly because he withdrew from plans to be with Tupac just days, within roughly 72 hours, before the shooting. At the time, Snoop was known to have strong ties to the streets, leading some to speculate that he may have heard rumors of danger ahead of time. However, in a separate interview, Snoop pushed back on those implications, reiterating that he believed Tupac actually disliked him, distancing himself from any suggestion that he had advanced knowledge of what was about to happen.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with.
Case files lay out the sequence of events leading up to Tupac's death, beginning on September 7th, 1996. That night, Tupac was in Las Vegas alongside Suge Knight to attend a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. After the bout ended, an altercation broke out inside the casino between Tupac and a known street affiliate, Orlando Anderson. Members of both groups were present at the venue, including Kef D, his nephew Orlando Anderson, and several associates. More than a decade later, Kef D would tell lap detective Greg Kading, under a proffer agreement, that the incident was rooted in retaliation. Surveillance footage reportedly showed Tupac confronting Anderson over a necklace he believed had been stolen years earlier in Compton. The scuffle was broken up by security within minutes, after which Tupac, Suge Knight, and their entourage left the casino. Tupac returned to his hotel to change clothes, and later that night, around 11 p.m., he and Suge got into Suge's black BMW and headed toward a club appearance. While en route, a rival gang allegedly began searching the Las Vegas Strip after learning Tupac was expected at Club 662. Orlando Anderson, Kef D, and others reportedly rode in a white Cadillac, eventually spotting Tupac's vehicle. At the intersection of East Flamingo Road and Koval Lane, the Cadillac pulled alongside the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac seated in the passenger seat. Gunfire erupted from the Cadillac, striking Tupac multiple times in the chest, arm, and thigh. Despite the high-profile nature of the case, no one was immediately charged or prosecuted. Years later, Kef D reignited public attention when he appeared on DJ Vlad's platform, speaking openly about the night of the shooting for the first time.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong.
He later gave a detailed account of how their vehicle pulled up alongside Tupac's, claiming that Tupac reached for a gun before shots were fired. However, official police findings contradicted that version of events, stating that no firearm was recovered from Tupac or found in his possession.
I say a week before we was best of friends. 2 days before I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like them. I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with it. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
What makes the situation even more puzzling is that Kef D was never arrested at the time, despite being questioned by police shortly after the shooting. Although investigators spoke with him during the initial stages of the case, no charges were filed back then, allowing him to walk free for years.
And Bubble Up was a driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
11. Adding another layer to the investigation, police came across a separate interview in which Kef D expressed regret over the event of that night.
said that as you're driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started